Friends, hello, hope you are well. Let's dig right into Sofi. So today, big day in the market, and I think everyone is totally shocked how this week played out in the market. It was completely not what any of us were thinking. I thought this was going to be a lot more of a devastating week in the market. Luckily, it was not. The port strike is over as far as we know, and today the Feds came out and said, hey, the job market is actually doing better than we thought, and jobs are up along with hourly rates. I somewhat wonder if the Feds are just messing with us right now, and they've done this before in the past. We've seen this already just months ago where they came out and said, hey, job report, great, it's all good, and then they came out with a revise on that and said, well, actually, and then the market tanked. So I do wonder if this is going to be another episode of that situation. Now, talking about Sofi, obviously, and this is why it goes hand in hand with what happened today and what happens here with Sofi. I do want to say this before I say anything else. Do I love and am I bullish on Sofi? Absolutely. Sofi is going to be a $20 to $30 stock here. If this market, if inflation, if all these things line up, when they do line up, Sofi is going to take off. It's just a matter of time. This stock is going to be a rocket ship. We know that. We don't need to sit here and talk about finances, about them growing. All that stuff's there. It's good. It's great. It's grand. The stock, the company, everything about it is underrated and undervalued right now. Now, with saying that too, the question is will this $8.30 and some change here last with Sofi? This trying to get to this $8.40 here. Now, we've seen Sofi at this before. We've been here. We have been here. Obviously, rate cuts. Rate cuts are a huge thing here. And with the Fed coming out with this today, it's almost like the Fed saying and they hinted at this where, well, maybe we don't need to do more rate cuts this year. I wonder how this is going to go into the next few weeks here in the market before we had this election. How is this going to play out in the market? Obviously, there's still the whole situation going on in the Middle East with war, all that kind of stuff. That's still a very situation that could affect the market. The port strike situation is over. It's wrapped up. It's done with. Thank God. Which, if that was going to keep going, that was going to be a mess here in weeks to come dealing with that situation. With the Feds coming out with this job report, and there's other people saying this too. I'm not just some conspiracy theorist on here saying this. There's other people and people that I follow on YouTube, a lot bigger than me, obviously, people that are very well respected on YouTube, saying they think this is a bluff by the Feds, that they're going to come out with a revisation, and we're going to see devastation, a big shakeout in the market here. And that's what happened last time. This is exactly what happened last time. We saw the Feds back in August come out with a report of what was going on for that month. And then what did they do? They came out with a revise of what they had already said. And it tanked Sofi. Sofi went right back down to at $7. So this really is... It's really leaving a lot of people to wonder, are we getting bluffed here? Now, if you do look at a 3-month chart here, Sofi is doing great. Sofi is doing amazing. But what Sofi is giving to us too, it's giving us a big push up and then a huge sell-off. Every time we get these big pushes with Sofi, and I'm just simply looking on here at Robinhood right now, there's nothing special about this chart. We see going all the way from July, we see big push. Then we see a little sell-off, big drop. Then we start to build ourselves right back up into a little bit of a higher rate. Into August, we got into $8. We had not been at $8 for a long time. Then what came? All the stuff I just talked about, boom, back down to $7. Then we built ourselves up again back to $8.19 with the rate talk. Boom, another sell-off. And now we're back here with this job report, plus we're still talking about rate cuts. So all this is in the zeitgeist right now with what's going on, but it's been a fantastic 3 months. But what I mean by all this is good. This is clear evidence that Sofi is moving. It's moving slowly. It's just having these situations where it's having these massive dumps. I mean, just massive sell-offs, but then it's building its way back up. I would say in the short term this month, is Sofi going to go back down to $7.50, $7.70? Yeah, more than likely it's going to go there. We're expecting that. there's going to be something happens here where it brings devastation in the market for another day. And when I say devastation, I just mean like a little bit of a panic day, and we see a sell-off. I'm not expecting to see huge numbers with SoFi until probably January, when we really see the market probably take off a little bit with the new president being sworn in. Just because historically that's how things have played out in the market before. So short term, yeah, I would definitely, looking at the history with SoFi here, yeah, we're probably going to see, SoFi is not going to hold this $8 mark here. That's what I'm trying to say. So if you think you missed out today and you're like, oh my God, I should have bought in. I missed my opportunity. I wouldn't panic buy, nor would I start panic selling at this point too. What I would probably look to is just hold your horses here. SoFi more than likely will drop back down to a high 7. But what I do want to say on top of that too is that you're going to run out of time here. If you're looking for SoFi to go back into the $6 mark, it's going to take a lot of bad news for SoFi to get there. I don't know at this point that SoFi can do that. Even if they do a revise on these this job report for September, I don't know that it would drastically drop SoFi again, because SoFi is getting a lot of shares are getting ate up. It's getting to where it's holding some positions here. We're starting to actually see SoFi build a chart here. We're watching a chart being built here. So once we get into a market in an economy that is better, inflation's under control, job reports are actually like steady, like they look like there's no like, well, by the way, we lied a little bit about what we said last month. If we can get away from that stuff, SoFi is going to take off here, and we're already seeing the basis of that start. It's been going on since July. It's hard to see. It's hard to see because we've had so many massive sell-off days in SoFi, but where it's sold off, it has come back even stronger than it was before. So this is very encouraging. But the market right now is moving. We're seeing the market move here. Even Tom Lee, is talking about he expects the S&P 500 to be at 600 here very soon. And that's a very encouraging thing. And this is a completely different conversation than what we were having just 60 days ago, when we were talking about looks like we might be headed for a huge sell-off, for a recession. And now that's just not what the conversation is at this point. Things are changing. So I do think the election is going to have a lot to do with a lot of these stocks. It's going to be a bumpy few weeks here. I expect us, yesterday and today we had really good days in the market. Somewhere this coming week or the week after that, I expect to see another sell-off. I expect to see a sell-off in the market here before we get to this election. That's what I expect. These next 4 weeks are your opportunity to probably get into SoFi, somewhere to get into SoFi. It will be interesting to see how SoFi reacts in not so much November, but December is where I'm really interested to see what SoFi does. How is SoFi going to react to December? Because we usually have quite a sell-off in December, the overall market. Friends, I'm going to stop yapping here. I wish all of you the best of luck. And SoFi is doing what it's supposed to do. It's going up slowly. Even though we're having these sell-off days, we're coming back even stronger. Look at this chart. This is full proof right now that it's moving. It's moving up. So be encouraged. It is happening right before us.